Hello guys, I'm not too well today, minus my stay. No, I'm only joking, didn't know it was on there, but yeah, not been well. Sent the sample out Thursday and I've started being amoxicillin, but I don't think it's the right antibiotic. I did that first, but no I don't. But anyway, enough about me, let's talk about causes of bronchiectasis. Okay, a lot of causes are from birth. It's like, I won't say it's genetic like a cystic fibrosis patient, but a lot of causes come at birth. Now, in my particular case, my mother told me about her childbirth and me being born. And you're talking 32 years ago. We don't have the same training and technology and mindset of midwives today that we had 32 years ago. So basically, when a baby's born, the midwife is supposed to do general checks and also clean mucus out of baby's nose, baby's ears, things like that. Do mucus clearance. Well, my mum said when I was born, the nurse was more interested in getting my mother right rather than cleaning me up. So we can look at childhood bronchiectasis and how it can develop. So it can develop by a midwife not cleaning mucus correctly, okay? It can also be caused by not being wrapped up correctly. So you could be straight out the womb, put in, I forgot what they're called, like a little cradle, not being wrapped up, and you develop some kind of cold on the chest or something, which then sets in temperature. Again, the body's very challenged, it's just been born, and you could develop a collapsed lung. So I developed a collapsed lung because of a result of not being cleaned proper with the mucus in the nose, and left near a window, as my mother recalled. And yeah, so these are two childhood ways you can develop bronchiectasis, and it can be done at birth. So really, if you're pregnant, always watch them, what they're doing to your baby when they take your baby. Make sure they're not just cleaning blood off its face. Make sure they're doing the mucus clearance. That is very, very important. Like my mother said, she said I was more important. I was more worried about my baby than me. But the midwife at that time seemed to be more worried about my mother. But now, baby is the first, and unless the mother's got a trauma bleeding, mother's second now, which should be the way anyway. So maybe we will see less childhood bronchiectasis. And other causes away from childhood would be reoccurring chest infections, and these do normally happen in childhood and they get worse as you get older. So it's spotting the signs with the recurring chest infections. If you're taking your children to a doctor about chest complaints 3-4 times a year and he's giving them antibiotics, you have to, as a parent, you have to research what could be causing this and what illnesses are out there, because a GP is a very busy person. They haven't got the time and day to give everyone a follow up. Okay, some GPs don't even know what bronchiectasis is. So again, you can develop it through recurrent chest infections. Another way you can develop bronchiectasis is through trauma, such as infection, pneumonia, choking, getting something dislodged in your lungs through swallowing. So choking, that's one. Another one, possibly living in a damp environment, being, next to mould, whether that was in a workplace, breathing dust in. Years ago, they didn't have the ventilation they have now, so breathing dust in from wood, plastics, things like that. Trying to think what else can cause it. So I've touched on many. There's not really an explanation for bronchitis, because anyone who's had it is scratching their head thinking, how did I develop this? When did I develop this? And a lot of people don't know they had it. They could have had it 30, 40 years and they don't know they've had it until it's progressed. But with me, I always was a poorly child. I always had a temperature. I always had chest infections, and I was diagnosed with asthma. So I want to see early detection of the disease. I've touched on the past. Also, not only that, I want to see better midwives and how clued they are about the mucus clearance and wrapping up the baby. I can't say all of them are going to be, wet behind the ears. Obviously, I've seen my own babies be born, and I've seen the great care they've done. But I think to rule out a lot of childhood bronchiectasis, we need to know what we're doing in regards of mucus clearance straight from the womb. In my case, so other cases can come out of nowhere, could be perfectly fine, and then just cough up a blood clot. I've spoke to 2 people now who said they were perfectly fine, nothing wrong with them, just recall coughing up blood, and then they got a diagnosis somewhere down the line. That's Vicar, and that's someone on my Instagram told me this. So yeah, I don't believe smoking causes bronchiectasis. As for me, bronchiectasis isn't like any other lung disease like emphysema, COPD. COPD, they really do have bad lung function. Okay, there's different types of bronchiectasis. Let me tell you as well. There's bronchiectasis, what I've got, and there's bronchiectasis varcosa, which Vicky's got, which is different. Okay, I don't know what's different between mine. All I can say is I'm more bronchial sepsis side, so I have the recurrent chest infections quite a lot. I grow 4 different bugs: Staphylococcus, Streptococcus, Haemophilus influenza is my probably colonised one that I grow a lot of, and Pseudomonas I've isolated twice in my life that I'm aware of. So there'll be someone who doesn't have the battles I have, and they'll have the breathing side, the wheeze side of things. So we have to look wider as well of what we're dealing with here, because again, British Lung Foundation show breathing tests, and all breathing tests prove is your lung function's fine as it deteriorated, but it doesn't paint the big picture what's going on. It doesn't tell me how damaged my lungs are. It doesn't tell me things like that. So we have to keep our eye on that and chase things up. Like I say, I've been pledging to doctors when I've seen them. We need early detection. I don't see you posting any flyers. I don't see anything on the TV screen saying, does your child have this symptoms? Maybe bronchiectasis. You don't see it on adverts, and it's quite a shock. And this is what I'm going to try and get done this year if I can, with the help of my Patreons, my peoples. We'll get there. We've got a couple of ribbons. We've got a couple of flyers. The next step is the wristbands. I don't think I can find that Chinese company, so we might have to go to America to get them. There's lots of things coming, trust me. I'm going to try and give the bronchiectasis patient in 2019 the peace of mind it needs, the reassurance it needs, just by staying at home, being able to do certain things. Okay, guys, this is definitely coming. It's been a long time coming. It should have been 2018, but very poorly. I think I took too much on whilst being poorly. I couldn't keep up with it. We need to build a website. We need to get a website going, and we'll go from there. But the root cause of bronchiectasis is unknown, but not if you use your brain. A lot of people who have bronchiectasis are telling you these stories, so that's official data. So even though there's no proper testing how you develop bronchiectasis, doesn't mean that people's word of mouth isn't a good enough reason to think why you developed yours in the first place. Right, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.